All right, y'all, give me a couple minutes. All right, we are live. We are live and direct. Okay, this is Colin Nathan Alim, the real estate boy, and welcome to Philadelphia County's or Philadelphia City's real estate update for the month of October 2025. Now, you may say, well, this is November, so why are you talking about what's happening last month? Well, that's the way that real estate information works, okay? It works in the rears. So, what I'm going to be talking about is what buyers need to know and what sellers need to know also, okay? So, sit back and relax, have your cup of coffee, and kind of let's get into it. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the market update snapshot. Okay, what's happening in the market as a snapshot? Once I talk about the numbers, okay, and I'm going to talk about five really important stats. Once I talk about that, then I'll talk about, okay, what does this mean for buyers and sellers? Okay, that's going to come a little bit further. So let's talk about the market snapshot. Now, Philadelphia market, it has shown resilience, okay, with a steady price appreciation despite modest sales volume adjustments. All right. So here are the numbers. First numbers are the closed sales. What were the closed sales for October of 2025? Okay. They were actually down. Okay. Closed sales were down last year about 2.3% year over year. So, what that reflects is that buyers are cautious in a higher mortgage rate environment. But it's really the same. Okay. People are really buying at the same rate that they've always been buying at. Philadelphia is a very steady market. Since I've been in the business going on 7 or 8 years, it's been a really steady market. Not real high, not real low. Okay. But we have, as far as closed sales, meaning how much business is being done in Philadelphia, comparing last year to this year in reference to closed sales, it's really even. It's almost even. All right. Now let's jump to what everybody wants to know about, and that's the median sales price. From last October to this October, the median price has actually jumped 5.6% year over year. Okay, almost 6%. From last year to this year, the average home, the median sales price in Philadelphia has jumped almost 6%. For y'all that's standing on the sidelines, that means what? The longer you wait, the more it's going to cost you. The more it's going to cost you. So home values are continuously rising in Philadelphia. And again, I'm going to break down on the next couple of slides what this means for buyers and what this means for sellers. Now let's jump to days on the market. All right. Days on the market is unchanged. From last year to this year, days on the market is a little bit less than a month. It's 25 days. So that means your average home is staying on the market a little bit less than a month. Okay, 25 days. So that shows that what? That shows some sort of balance in the market from last year to this year. Next is active listings. How many active listings are on the market? Last month there was close to 5,000 homes on the market. That's a 2% year over year increase. All right. So that means that there's a little bit more options for buyers out there, right? And for the last quick market snapshot, we're going to talk about months of supply. Well, months of supply means that if we bought up all the homes, if no other homes came on the market, and we bought up all the homes that were on the market right now, how long would it take? Well, October last month, it was a little bit over 4 months. It would have took a little bit over 4 months. Now, a balanced market is from 5 to 6 months. So that's slightly higher than last year. So that means that even though technically it's a seller's market, we're still moving closer. The buyers are gaining ground, as they say. They're gaining ground. It's 4 months now, but it's moving towards that balance of 5 or 6 months. All right. So now all that information, what does that mean for buyers and sellers? Well, let's check it out here. Okay. All right. So here's my buyer market analysis. This is what this means. What those numbers that I just talked about, okay, and the rest of the numbers that you didn't see, what does that mean for our buyers. Okay, the current market, it presents a nuanced opportunity for Philly buyers. Okay, with conditions having eased slightly from the intense competition of recent years, strong fundamentals remain. What does that mean? I'll let you know. First is the growing inventory. Okay, inventory is rising slowly, slowly. What does this mean? This is giving buyers more options. Right now, buyers have more options than they had last year, which means what? That they have a little bit more leverage. Okay, 2% increase in active listings means that you'll have more homes to consider. Okay, and less pressure to buy this home or that home. All right, so we have growing inventory, slow growth, but growth is growth. All right. Also, buyers have to look at, we have climbing prices. Since I've been in the business for 8 or 9 years, prices have increased every year. So those buyers who think, well, I'm just going to sit on the sideline and I'm going to wait for home prices in Philadelphia to drop off, you're going to have a long wait. You are going to have a long wait. Fundamentally, Philadelphia is underpriced, in my opinion. It's underpriced. So what's going to happen is that you're going to see homes continue to climb in price. Now, here's the thing: is right now, if you're a home buyer in Philadelphia, I mean, there's just so much money out there. The government wants you to be a home buyer. But if you're sitting on the sidelines and you're waiting for prices to drop, best to you with that. Best to you with that, because it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. So if you are a buyer, your best thing is to reach out to me so we can formulate a game plan to get in on this. Get in on this. Right now, Philadelphia is still one of the places where it's cheaper to buy than it is to rent. Most places in America is cheaper to rent than it is to buy. But Philadelphia is one of like 4 or 5 different places where it's cheaper to buy than it is to rent. That's why I'm on top of William Penn on City Hall, figuratively telling people, hey, listen, it's time to buy. It's time to buy. It's time to buy. And now you have so many grants out there that I'm getting people. If you're buying something for $300,000 or less, for a lot of people, you're not paying any money down, or very little, very little. But let's get back to this, okay? So there's climbing prices, so buyers have to deal with that, okay? There's also steady competition. Again, homes are averaging 25 days on the market, okay? So there's less urgency than the peak seasons, because right now we're not in a peak season. Peak seasons. People are thinking about their kids. People are thinking about the break that's about to come up. People are concentrating on a lot of things, okay? But homes are still moving quickly. If a home is priced correctly, okay, it's in a good neighborhood, it's still moving quickly. Yes, there's less competition at this particular time than it is in the spring or the summer. But the thing about buyers who are out right now, they're more serious. They're more serious because now, like I said, it's a little cold outside. You see, I got a sweater on. It's a little colder outside. So buyers who are out right now, they got to drag their kids out and got to put their winter coat on. They're more serious. They're more focused than some of those people who are just kicking tires during the spring or the summer. So again, homes are on the market on average 25 days, a little less than a month. So that shows what? That shows that there's still competition out there. There's still steady competition out there. And also, what we've seen as far as buyers go, as I mentioned earlier, the months of supply is a little bit over 4 months. Okay, and this is leaning towards more of a balanced market. So it's not quite a buyer's market, not quite, but it's definitely more favorable of a buyer's market than it was in recent years. Okay, so what should a buyer do right now? A buyer needs to get pre-approved. That's the first thing. You got to get pre-approved. If you go shopping, for the people who are smart, if you go shopping, you know how much money you have in your account. You know how much you can spend. Well, that's the same thing with buying a house. You have to know how much you can spend. Why? Because you can think that you're that you can afford maybe $400,000 worth of house. But then when you see how much that closing cost is going to be, or how much that monthly payment is going to be, then you may back down. But if you're going out and you're seeing houses and you don't have a pre-approval, you're wasting everybody's time. Maybe your agent won't tell you, but I'm gonna tell you, you're wasting everybody's time. No, you should see, number one, how much can you get approved for. Number one, that's the first thing. But number two is, how much are you comfortable with spending monthly? That's important. How much are you comfortable spending monthly? Because you might be on Zillow, you might be on Redfin, you may be on Realtors.com, and you may be looking at homes all willy nilly, and it's like, okay, well, the home I need is around $500,000, having no clue of how much is that monthly. So your taste is $500,000 because of your needs, but your budget might tell you what. Your budget may say, "Hey, I can only afford $300,000, so I really should be looking at $300,000." Okay, so without those guardrails, then what's going to happen? You're going to be wasting your time. Okay, so if you're a buyer, what should you be doing right now? Well, the first thing you should be doing is contacting me. That's the first thing you should be doing. And you can do that through my phone number, 267-930-1249, or you can go to followkhalid.com. Again, followkhalid.com, and you can call me, or you can set up a free Zoom 101 free buyer consultation. Okay. So the first thing, if you're a buyer, what you need to be doing is you need to be calling me. Why? Because I can put you in contact with those individuals that got money, with those individuals that have money, meaning what? The lenders that are giving out money. It's not that your local bank, because some people think, not you, okay, but some people think, oh, well, I've been banking with Main Street Bank for 20 years. They should give me the hookup. Nope. Nope. Or, oh, well, I've been going to this bank for 30 years, so I'll just go down there and get a more. Nope. Nope. Why? Because they're probably not giving out the most money. This is the thing. I concentrate on finding the most money for my buyers. I concentrate on getting the most money from my buyers. That's the first thing. It has to be quarterback. It has to be quarterback because not all lenders are the same, and not all mortgage officers are the same. You can have one company, you can have one bank, but this mortgage officer might be terrible and this one might be good. But you don't know. How would you know? Well, working with me, I vented these mortgage lenders already. Okay. So you want an agent that has a team, that has a relationship with mortgage lenders, so he knows who has the money and who doesn't. Because there are times this money that these lenders have for first time home buyers or second time home buyers, it's not that there's one place where you can find all that information in one place. That's the first thing. The second thing is that they run out of money. They run out of money, and when the money's done, it's done. But there's not going to be any. There's not going to be an article in the news that says, "Hey, this bank has run out of money for first-time home buyers." Nope, you just got to know. If you know, you know. And this is what I do, so this is what I know. Okay, so anyway, if you want to buy a home, you need to contact me first. We need to see what your situation is, and we want to see what's the most money that we can get you. Okay, that's the first thing. Then after that, what we need to do is we need to find out, okay, how much can you get qualified for? And we find out how much you can get qualified for, and there's other steps that we can take after that. But long story short is, in Philadelphia, prices are going up. Okay, so you need to get in right now. So I just went over my buyer market analysis. Okay, now let's go to my seller market analysis, because there are people out there who want to buy, but maybe there's a property that they have to sell before then. Either they're going to rent it out, or maybe what they're going to do is they're going to sell their home and then roll that money into something else. Okay, so Based on the numbers from October 2025, okay, what does this mean for sellers? Philadelphia sellers remain in an advantageous position. Why? They have strong price appreciation. Okay, homes from last year to this year have gone up close to 6%. Okay, um, and they have consistent buyer demand. People are still looking to buy in Philadelphia. Okay, there's not some places like in maybe some places in Florida they can't give away a house. Okay, but there's still strong or consistent buyer demand in Philly. But you have to be strategically positioned. You just can't, for example, in COVID, you just put your house on the market and whatever happened happened. Okay, now you have to strategically position your home for it to sell. Okay, so again, there's strong appreciation in Philadelphia. If you want to sell your home, now is an excellent time to sell your home. Now is an excellent time to sell your home. Home prices are going up, number one, and number two, there's an active buyer pool. There's an active buyer pool. So the average time that homes stay on the market is 25 days. If you're looking at it nationally, that's great. Okay. Looking at it nationally, that's great. And from last year, from last October to this October, it was last October 25 days on the market. This October 25 days on the market too. And now for sellers, there's a slight increase in competition. There's a slight increase in competition, meaning what? There are more homes on the market. There are more homes on the market last year. So that all that means that you need a strategy. You need a strategy to put your home on the market. You just can't put it on the market all willy nilly. Okay, so contact me. Okay, I have a sold in 3 days strategy where we'll get your home under contract in 3 days, guaranteed. Okay, guaranteed that we will get your home under contract in 3 days. Okay, what you can't do as a seller is you can't overprice your home. Okay, you can't overprice your home. Sell smart, sell fast. If you sell smart, you will sell fast. Okay, there are still people out there looking for homes at this particular time in the season. People who are out looking for homes, they're super serious. Even my buyers, the buyers that I have out that are looking for homes, they're not kicking tires. Okay, they're super serious. Now everybody's favorite topic is what? Price. So let's look at the price. Okay, let's look at the price momentum and see what's happening with the price in relation to the mortgage rates. Okay, so if we look at, let's see. Okay, so if we look at October of 2024, the median sales price was what? It was 270. Okay, and the mortgage rate was around 7.2. Now, if we look at a year later, the median sales price, well, not a year later, but if we look at January of 2025, okay, the beginning of this year, the median sales rate was 275 and the mortgage rate was 7.1. Okay, so the mortgage rate had went down a little bit, but the median price has steadily going up. Then when we come to April, the median sales price again is up to 280, but the mortgage rate has dropped to 6.9. Okay. Then if we jump up to the summer, the median sales price again has gone up to 283, and the mortgage rate went up a little bit to 7. And if we come to right now, this October, the median sales price is at 285 and the mortgage rate is at 6.8. All right. So if we compare last year, mortgage rates were higher. They were at 7.2. Right now they're at 6.8. But the price is more. And this is what I try to tell buyers all the time. There's some buyers that's like, oh, well, I want to wait for the mortgage rate to drop to buy. Okay, that's fine. You can play that game. But if you wait for the mortgage rate to drop, but the price goes up, you're what? You're cutting off your nose to spite your face. That's exactly what happened from last year. From last year to this year, what happened? Last year, the median sales price was 270. Yes, the mortgage rate was 7.2. But now, a year later, the mortgage rate, or excuse me, the median sales rate is no, I'm sorry, the median price is 285. So a year ago it was 270. Now it's 285. And the mortgage rate a year ago was 7.2, and now the mortgage rate is 6.8. So now if you went to buy, I mean, you'd be paying the same price that you waited for. Here's the moral of the story. You shouldn't be waiting. Do not try to time the market. This is the moral of the story. Do not try to time the market because you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. Don't try to time the market. You will lose. Okay? So let's look at the market perspective, the economic impact. Okay, so Philadelphia real estate, the market, it's a complex economic environment. Of course, we all know that. Okay, affordability pressures combined with broader economic uncertainty have cooled the frenzy of recent years. It says creating a more measured pace of transactions. That just means that everything is settling down more than it was last year, okay, or the year before, okay. Buyers are exercising greater caution because they have more options. Buyers are buyers are exercising more caution because they have more options. Okay, they have more options than they did a year or two ago. Okay, um, demand is still there. Even though prices are going up, demand is still there. You still have qualified buyers that are seeking home ownership. You also have people, you got more people telecommuting. So that means you got more people in Washington, D.C. that are coming up. You got people who are in New York, famous for coming down to Philly. You got people in Boston coming down to Philly. Okay, so the current market is really balanced for the most part. Okay, sellers prices are steadily going up, and for buyers, yeah, prices are going up, but mortgage rates are coming down a little. That's great, but also inventory is growing. Meaning what? You have more choices. Buyers have more choices out there. Okay? So, what are we looking for? What do we think is going to happen at the end of the year? Well, at the end of the year, most experts expect sales to slightly increase from 2024. Okay? But it's going to be a balanced approach. It's going to be a balanced approach. Philly as a real estate market, and I'm looking at a window that's giving me all of this real estate out there. So I love coming to my office here. I'm looking at the art museum here, and a bunch of condos over here. Um, this is Row House Lane right here, the Schuylkill, very very beautiful. But what we're looking for in 2025 is, or excuse me, not 2025, in 2026, is that we're going to see a balanced market. That's what I think. Okay, we're going to see a balanced market. I think you're going to steadily see more homes come on the market. Okay, which is great for buyers. But for sellers, what does that mean? This is still a great opportunity to sell. Okay, so now I'm going to do something a little bit different. Okay, we're going to do neighborhood spotlight, and we're going to just focus on four neighborhoods which are the top performing neighborhoods in Philadelphia. And I think you guys will kind of all know it's kind of your usual suspects. These aren't in any particular order, but you have Chestnut Hill. Of course, people love Chestnut Hill. Days on the market in Chestnut Hill is only 18 days when the median sales price is $529,000. So you have premium location, okay, with a strong buyer demand for the historical charm and the walkability. Chestnut Hill is very walkable. Then you have Rittenhouse Square. Of course, this is always a darling, Rittenhouse Square. You also have Northern Liberties. Northern Liberties, the days on the market in Northern Liberties is only 19 days. Okay, it's only 19 days. Hot neighborhood, always a hot neighborhood for young professionals. And then you have Queen Village. Okay, people love Queen Village because it's super walkable. Okay, so these neighborhoods consistently outperform, okay, the county or the city's averages. Okay, so we'll just leave that at that. Okay, so here are my final thoughts. Okay, here are my final thoughts and strategies just to kind of wrap this all up. All right, number one, for buyers, you want to monitor the rate movement. Okay, you want to monitor the rate movement, but don't let that stop you. Don't let the rate stop you. Like I just showed you. If you have a 580 or more, you can get a loan. Your credit only has to be a 580. You only have to if you have a 580, contact me. If you have a 580, contact me. Okay? You should look at the rates, be cognizant of the rates, but that shouldn't hold you back. That should not hold you back. Okay? You need to be prepared. You need to be prepared. Stop looking on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, Homes.com if you don't got a pre-approval. Get your pre-approval straight first to know what you should be looking at. Okay? But before you get the pre-approval, contact me. Okay? We're going to focus on value. I tell this to my buyers all the time. You got to find something in between acceptability and affordability. Okay? We got to find something between acceptability and affordability. And something that happens to a lot of home buyers, first-time home buyers, is that they feel like they have to hit the mark on the first purchase. You don't. We're just trying to get out that cycle of renting. Yes, you got to get something that's comfortable, okay? You got to get something that you feel comfortable in, that you feel comfortable for your family in. But we're trying to get out the cycle of renting, okay? Not trying to hit, okay, this is going to be my dream home, my first home, and dream home. Usually doesn't work like that. It usually doesn't work like that. So when we go out, when you're going out to shop for homes, just understand, okay, this is my first home. In 5 or 6 years, I'm probably going to be moving. So what should I be looking for? I should be looking for a comfortable neighborhood. I should be looking for the size that I want. And I also should be looking for what? Looking for finishes that are acceptable. Because I can change all of the finishes. I can change all of the finishes. You can't change the neighborhood. It's a little bit harder to change the size. Okay? But as far as the finish, excuse me, I almost bit my tongue. As far as the finishes within the house, you can change all of it. You can change all of it. All right. So that's my thoughts and my advice to my buyers. Okay. So you should contact me first so we can work out a plan to get you a home. For my sellers, you have to price your property strategically. Remember this. Okay. Sellers, if you don't remember anything else that I say today, remember that the initial price is just an invitation. The initial price of a home is just an invitation. It does not mean that that's what your home is going to sell for, okay? Because the two biggest factors in the selling of a home is the price or time. The price or time. If you want to talk about that a little bit more, then just contact me. I won't take up this whole time for that. You also want to prepare your property. First impressions do matter. Pictures do matter. Okay? It kills me when I see homes on the market and the agent didn't have enough respect for your home to give you professional pictures. That drives me crazy. You got pictures, the lighting is all off, the angle is all crazy. Sometimes it's not in the right mode. You have a horizontal picture on the MLS. Okay, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. This is a sign. If you ask your agent, okay, who's going to take the pictures, and he says, I'm going to take the pictures, run, 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 literally run. If you have an agent that doesn't have enough respect for your property to take professional pitchers run, okay, then call me. Number three for sellers is you have to market aggressively, okay? Market aggressively. Like I said, professional photos, virtual tours, strategic marketing. Um, these are why so we can attract serious buyers. Okay, there's still strong demand out there for homes. Okay, you just have to be more strategic than you've been in the past year. So hey, listen, if you're ready to make a move, whether that is to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, please contact me. My phone number is 267-930-1249. Also, my website, www.sellwithkhalid.com. And if you want to take advantage of my free consultation, again, whether you're buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate, go to www.followkhalid.com. Okay. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Contact me and let's buy a home or sell a home or invest in real estate, guys. I will catch y'all next month. All right, take care.